the important people are here. Good morning, children of God, both of you. No, I just said that for those of you who are home watching. If you didn't want to brave the 3-degree weather, it's warm in here, not bad. Which reminds me, by the way, you do not exist rather to impress the world, as much as there are those who think that's their reason for being. You exist to live your life in a way that will make you happy. Much different most of the time. Let's stand, join together and sing in the silence.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a sacred meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light, now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there.
O loving Father, Mother God, we acknowledge your presence moving in and through us in this moment. We take a moment and breathe and allow this presence to flow from us, through us this day. We are grateful for the opportunity to come together to worship, to sing, and to pray in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Too much fun. Second Sunday of Advent already. So what we're going to do is light our second candle, and today we celebrate peace. And I understand Jolie's up for everything today, huh? You're going to do the candle. You're going to be reading for us later. That one. Yeah, that one. Yay. There you go. At the very center of my being is a still point of peace. I access this serene and sacred place whenever I attune to the Christ within. As I go about my day, I release any tension, disharmony, or conflict. And remember that all is unfolding exactly as it should.
Today's daily word is inner peace, and Jolie will read the daily word.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Inner peace. The Christ within is my source of peace. Advent has begun. It is a season of faith, peace, love, and joy. A time of preparing for the celebration of the Christ, the divine perfection in each one of us. The Christ is my source of peace. Whether I am gazing in solitude at a star-filled sky or caught in the bustle of a holiday crowd, inner peace is always available to me. I am grateful for the sense of well-being that fills my heart. During this season, I turn my awareness to the presence of peace in me. It is my constant source of serenity, my ballast in the storms of life. It is a steadying presence in all situations. I give thanks for the Christ within, my ever-present source of peace. For a child has been born for us, and he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Isaiah 9:6.
One thing I know I can say is that the more often that we take the time to acknowledge who we are, the more that will show up in our world, regardless of the appearance. So let's take our affirmation together. I am a child of the living God. I have within me the all-creating power of the Christ. It radiates from me and blesses all whom I contact. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. Let's sing, I am. Having spoken these words of truth, we take a moment now and breathe and move to that place in consciousness that Jesus called our inner closet. It is our secret place. It is that place within you where there is no question, there is no doubt. Here in this place, in this moment, I am one with my Creator. We affirm our oneness. We rest. With each breath I take, I still my mind as I have stilled my body. I breathe. And feel the presence flowing through me in this moment. This day, we hold in prayer those who are traveling. We see them safe, whole and free. This day, we hold our world leaders in prayer as they begin their journeys to South Africa to celebrate the life of Nelson Mandela. We see them traveling in peace. Couldn't be more appropriate than this day. This day, we affirm, regardless of appearance, I am there. And we are grateful. This day, as I rest here in the stillness, I listen, for here answers come. My prayers I ask, here I reach out and gratefully accept the gifts that come to me this day. All my needs are met. I am one with all things, one with all of God's children, one with my world, my universe. I breathe and know I am a channel through which good flows. This day, I open that channel up. In this moment, from me, through me, into this place, touching each and every one of God's children. All my needs are met. I am blessed. Across our city, touching each and every one of God's children. I am blessed. Across our state, around the world for that matter, touching each and every one of God's children. I am blessed. This day, affirming our oneness, we know that somewhere, someone is saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, for in this moment, that which you have sent, that which has moved through you, is gratefully received this day. I am blessed, I am grateful, and that gratitude swells up and returns to you. The circle of life is complete. Knowing this truth, I immerse myself in it, each and every cell of my being, re-energized, revitalized. I am blessed. Holding to this truth of me, holding to the flow of good through me and from me, I rest for one holy moment. Knowing there is more yet for me to do this day, gently, easily, effortlessly, I bring my attention back to this now, to this when, to this place. I hold to the experience we have shared, and I join with you and pray as Jesus, our elder brother, has taught us, when he said, "As for you, pray therefore in this manner."
Still, 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 he sleeps this night so chill. The virgin's tender arms enfolding, warm and safe the Christ child holding. Still, 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 he sleeps this night so chill. Sleep, 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 he lies in slumber deep, while angel hosts from heaven come winging, sweetest songs of joy are singing. Sleep, 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 he lies in slumber deep.
Yay. Yay, yay, yay. So, how many of you saw absolutely insane drivers on the road yesterday, and today, and this morning? And let me ask you a question. Having seen it, what were you feeling? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah? May I humbly suggest that when you take a moment and know that there are crazies out there who are trying to kill you, that you give them to God and give them peace. There's plenty of time to get everything done. Most of the time when we get jammed up, in weather like this, when we're driving or whether it's life in general, it's when we get in a hurry. We try to get things done, hurry, 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 which is an attitude. When I was in law enforcement, people couldn't understand how I could get from one side of town to the other as fast as I did. I mean, the call would go out for assistance of one kind or another, and I'm there, and they knew I was on the other end of town, and they would say to me, "How do you do that?" And the answer was this: I know how to move quickly, but never in a hurry. I'm never in a hurry. I know how to move quickly, but I'm never in a hurry. That's peace. See, I know my path. It's okay. I can move quickly. I move slow. I get to choose what that looks like. And every time I choose to allow something else to interfere, stuff doesn't work so well. As an example, yesterday I had to, Lynn's working over at the fairgrounds on a Christmas. I'll come up with a word in a minute, but anyway, a bunch of folks are all together selling stuff. And I had to go get her. And over by the fairgrounds, for those of you who don't know the area, there's a nice row of trees between the fairgrounds and the parking lot. And where trees are, sun isn't. And in the last 2 days, where sun isn't, ice is. And as I was going to get her, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I let somebody behind me here get too close. And instead of backing up like I should have, I turned the wheels to turn and tapped my brakes. And went in a dandy straight line. Oh, whoops! Till I realized, okay, come on, don't get weird, Rob. Back off. Made my turn, did not crunch my car, thank goodness. But it was in that moment. It was one of those learning things that shows up in your life. It was in that moment. It was on me, not on somebody else. I allowed a circumstance to overtake me as opposed to just breathe, as I've been doing all weekend, and just drive through it. It's okay. I know how. But see, in that one moment, when you do this, that's how your world responds. You're going to love it in that ditch. No, thank you very much. I don't want to go there. So back up and breathe. And that goes back to the lessons that this Sunday, this Advent is really all about, is peace. How do I get to that state when I'm in troubled waters, as it were? And that's the first time we see it, is where things are really kind of ragged. And what does Jesus say? Peace. Peace, be still. And the waters are calm, and people are going, this is very different. Watch this guy. Wow. And the funny thing is they do the same thing with you. When you know how to practice that and put it to work, when you go, I choose to be peace. Notice the key word being in there. I choose to be peace. I practice peace. People do the same kind of thing for you. How can you do that? In the midst of all this chaos, how can you be at peace? Well, I go back to source. I know who's in charge of my world. I know, with a capital K, that all things are here for good, regardless of the appearance. And I get to choose. Now, all of you who chose, for those who are watching on the internet or will be watching later just for information's sake, it's really cold outside, 3 degrees. And, you know, I could have pulled the cover up over my head too. I'd have been in exactly the right place, by the way, as those who aren't here with us today are. They're doing what they think is the right thing for them to do. And we should celebrate that, because it's not about where I am, it's about how I am, it's about who I am, it's who I'm being in the moment. So we come together by choice and say thank you. We look at our world and say, regardless of the circumstance, I can move through it in peace, in harmony, and in safety. God is my source. See, I don't even think about not going out. Now, I know a lot of people do, and that's okay, but I don't even consider it. I mean, I have been out in, probably shouldn't have been out stuff over my lifetime, and went anyway because it's what needed to be done by me in the moment. And so I do it because I know I'm okay. God is my source. I am at peace. Now, that doesn't mean, by the way, that I don't pay really, really close attention to all those people who may not be being peaceful at the moment, who may be in a real rush to get where they're going. I can still create space, as it were, and that's kind of what happens. It's really kind of fun. On the way this morning, as we came close to the fairgrounds, there was a truck behind me, and it looked, I thought at first, just a little bit close. Fortunately, he must be a local and knows the weather really well too, because as soon as we hit the trees and the ice, he went, and backed up big time. I went, oh, good for you. Thank you, kind sir. Made turn, no problem, no skidding. Didn't even make my wife's knuckles turn white. Which happens frequently, I might point out. But that peace just absolutely surrounds you when you bring it into your life. And that's why we take time this time of the year to remember that more than anything else, is that part of this structure is peace. Now, I would take umbrage, if you will, with those who think that Jesus was the Prince of Peace, and I don't doubt that he was a peaceful man, but you need to keep in mind that our peaceful brother said, my purpose here is not to make it easy for you. I came here to divide you. Father from son, husband from wife, mother from daughter. Oh, that's a good thing for our Prince of Peace to say. But it was giving us a lesson, and it was still from a peaceful heart, meaning that we need to learn how to separate out there from in here. And we all still live with those strings. How many of you behave because mom said so? Or dad said so? Or a brother responded, or a sister responded. And we still hold on to those pieces. And what Jesus was saying is, no. Look, you need to honor that. I got that. That's part of your experience. That's part of your world. And you need to be at peace with that. But you need to really get centered on who you are and live the truth of you on a regular basis. That's when you will know, with a capital K, know peace, as opposed to it's just a really good song that we sing at the end of the service. Have you ever wondered about that? We do that every Sunday. We sing, let there be peace on earth, and we go out and go, oops. So every now and again, I have to back up and say, that peace on earth piece is here. I need to hold that on me. I need to recognize that I bring that to my world. It's not the other way around. Wouldn't it be nice, we would love it if it worked the other way around. If all of you would be peaceful, it'd be really great for me. But the truth is it's the other way around, isn't it? I need to get at peace for me. When I am at peace with me, then all good things come to me, because I'm not blocking them out. We've been playing on Wednesdays with the whole notion of really stretching your belief system, really making it work for you. And one of the pieces is the ability to set aside that which you believe to be true from an objective awareness standpoint rather than a judgmental one. So when somebody's driving weird on the road, they're not being weird to mess with you. They're just being weird. And it's okay. I can be at peace with that. Be cautious, but I can be at peace with it. And then I'm not tied up in knots. I'm not holding on to a thought or a feeling so tight that it doesn't know how to flourish and grow. And this body temple responds to that. As you begin this process, this body temple responds to that. And you should expect that it would. When you hold a thought has the tendency to repeat itself. In like mind, we join together in like mind. Your thoughts hold together in like mind. When I can hold together peace, then peace becomes habit in all things that I do. And I get to make choices based on what's working for me. And then I have the opportunity then to say, wait a minute, what's in my life that's still off kilter just a bit? Knowing my life. Notice I didn't say yours. That doesn't mean I don't pray with you. Doesn't mean I don't understand what you are going through. But the question is, if it shows up in my life, I need to take ownership of it. So if you're having a challenge that you share with me, whose problem is it? Mine. Why? Because I see it as a problem. So I'm learning how to acknowledge whatever it is we're going through, but at the same time recognize, as Jesus did, that this is not the truth of who you are. It's the circumstance in which you find yourself, yes. It is the experience through which you are living, yes. But the truth of you is the core of you, is the peace, everlasting, life, everlasting. And that's where I want to go. But I need to do it first. Because again, it's not on you, it's on me. When I am in that state of being peaceful, being orderly, being aware, being one with, being a channel through which good flows, all those things become true for me in that moment. Here comes the not so fun part. And anytime I want to pick up the trash that I left behind, I can. And I do. Right? It's my stuff. I'm going to carry it. Thank you very much. Right? But I'm learning how to let it go. I'm learning how to stretch. I'm learning how to be more open. And one of the keys is to be at peace with stuff. Even though chaos appears in my world, is that the truth? No. What is the truth of my world? Peace. But it's really hard to see that. How many of you saw recently on television that we have a new island being formed in the Sea of Japan? It's really kind of fun. There's a volcano that's doing its thing. We don't know whether that island is going to stay or sink beneath the waves. We haven't decided yet. We meaning our Earth. I'm willing to be the collective here. But it's really kind of fun. You see, our Earth, as a living, breathing being, has movement as well. So how does that fit in with, how does that seem to be with all this eruption? How is that peaceful? At the core, what am I? This is just symptomatic of what's going on in my thoughts and feelings. I have eruptions from time to time. Have to think about it, don't you? I don't know that I want this island. No. There are times that's what my world does. Mount Etna in Italy is doing its thing again. Same kind of thing. Our world responds to what? Who we are. It's our world. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves that it is our world, that we, while being created in the image and likeness of God, have the ability to form our world based on our thoughts and based on our feelings. That it comes into fruition into our world based on our words and our outer activities. I've been playing with words a lot. And sometimes I get the statement from people that, well, you're just playing semantics. Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. But I want to be clear in the meaning of the word so that it is in line with what my thinking is. Then I can change it to fit me. Right? And it gets to be fun. I'll give you one that I'm working on right at the moment. The word is reconciliation. Reconciliation. So I'm in the process of shifting how I think about that word. Because for me, there's an underlying premise that means there is something wrong or in conflict that I need to reconcile. I'm out of balance. I'm using a bookkeeping term. I reckon with my books, there's something out of balance, and I reconcile them. I make sure that they're correct. So there's that piece of it too. How does that work with people? What am I holding in thought and in feelings that I need to work with? And is that the right word, or is there another word that will better serve me? I don't know yet. I'm playing with that because it came into my world. The question got asked. And when questions get asked, may I humbly suggest that when a question gets asked, that you take the opportunity to attempt to answer it. First, knowing that you're going to go into prayer and start from there. Knowing I don't have all the answers, but knowing that the answer is there. When I can start from there. And again, I go back to the peace. I don't still go into automatic turmoil with it. I breathe and I go here, center, and at peace in the stillness, then begin to ask for prayer guidance and direction. And guess what? It shows up. So this day, as we go into this second Sunday of Advent, where we have the opportunity to, for this next few days, pay attention to being peace. Being peace. Not just talking about peace, but being peace. One of the things that came up this last week was kind of interesting to me is that most people talk about Jesus and about what he taught, and very few of them practice what he taught. Because it isn't about what he taught, it's about how you put it to work in your life. So now I'm not talking about, I'm living through. Peace I give to you is one of the things he said. My peace I leave with you. Now that's kind of an Easter statement more than a Christmas one, but it fits. He knew about his own inner peace. Doesn't matter what's going on in my world. I got my world. It's busy, it's tumultuous, there's lots of stuff going on. I got that. But the truth to me comes from here. My peace I give to you. Wow, that's a great gift. This day, why don't you take advantage of that and take it on? Say, okay, this day I choose it. Today, I choose to be peaceful. Today, as I move through my life, I'm going to be at peace. I'm going to be peace. And then I will be peaceful, full of peace. Practice, 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 practice. Practice does not make perfect, by the way. Why? I'm already perfect. Right? That's the truth of who we are. Practice for us means practice, practice, practice makes us better and better and better at reflecting and bringing about the perfection that we already are. Faith we talked about. Peace we talk about. Love we will be talking about next week. And joy. All of these things come together as part of the process of bringing about the birth of the Christ in you that we'll celebrate here in a few days. One of the reasons that I use this so often is because I have discovered that the biggest challenge we have collectively is recognizing the truth of who we are. We allow the world to shadow a lot. And so I share this on a regular basis. Somebody said, you say this practically every Sunday. I go, yeah, I kind of do. But I really want you to get it. And it goes like this. If you're really not sure about how to make that next step, how do I become and be at peace? The first thing is you need to love you. You need to love you the same way that God loves you. So let's take a moment and breathe. Paint the picture. See this body temple as it is, warts and all. Okay? Hold the thought. And from the heart, I say to that picture that is me, I love you. Together? I love you. I breathe. I bless you. Together? I bless you. For all that shows up in my world, I appreciate you. Together? I appreciate you. Now breathe. Look past the surface. Look to the truth. In this moment, I behold the Christ. Together, I behold the Christ. That's peace. Live there. Namaste.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.